What is up, everyone? Uh, Hope all of y'all are having a lovely, blessed evening. Um, Bear with me, I'm trying to adjust brightness right now. Um, Darnell Jordan of S Time Productions. Um, we're gonna take this off today, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna take this banner off today. Um, Guys, welcome to another edition of Speak Everything into Existence. This was something that was on my mind and on my spirit for last couple days, couple weeks, couple months, but really it's just like kind of a revelation today. Um, with a lot that's been going on. Obviously, we've been talking about a lot of different topics in the last couple weeks and a couple months with everything that's going on with the world, from the pandemic to this social injustice that's really just being maximized. Um, and basically it's kind of like my personal experience. So obviously, speak everything into existence for me is more of how to create, how to be better human beings, how to basically embrace the all the emotions and the things that you have that we feel like we need to hide all the time from society, and basically bring it out and talk about these things, the things that make us feel uncomfortable, the things that make us feel like we're not um, when we hear from when we get denied from other people, we think that we are less than what we're worth. But I really want to come on here today to really talk about um, mental discipline, and like how I'm saying how I'm working towards trying to create mental discipline. This is not a remedy saying I've got this all handled, settled, and handled out and fixed. No, it took um, it took me today to have that feeling of revelation where I felt like, boom, when is it now the time where I'm starting to embrace who I am as a person and what I want to feel and how I want to feel, and those things. So um feel free to leave messages in the comments. I'm currently on all multi platforms at this time, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on IG Live. Um, I'm gonna get very personal with you about some things that have been in my mind in the last. It really kind of dates back to a lot for a couple years now, but oops, sorry. Um, but it really is something that is uh that's really just really hitting me, and I want you to take a deep breath with me as I go through this very personal journey with you together, as we talk about a lot of different things that I haven't really expressed as much as I've had experience in this scenario. So um, with everything that's going on in the world with Black Lives Matter, and with politics and how everything is run, and especially with everything that's gone on with, like, on a personal level with me, I've dealt with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just um, uncertainty in my mind, a lot of misunderstanding, looking for a lot of answers for things that I may or may not get, looking for closure for a lot of things I may not get. And I started to learn um, that it's with me being where I am at this point, um, I need to start creating that mental discipline to um, discipline myself to take care of myself and to love myself and to embrace myself and to accept myself at all times. So here's what I'm talking about. Um, So, um, I've been single for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years now, seems like. 2016, 17, 17. So about three and 16. But at any rate, for me, it's always been a stress for me on a personal level. Um, where like I'm always trying to look for validation. I always feel like when there's something that ends up becoming wrong in a relationship or something that ends up becoming wrong in with a job or with my career or anything like that, I always feel stressed. Like I'm always doubting myself. Like, am I worth my time? Am I doing something wrong? And I'm questioning myself, and there's a lot of times where I feel like, oh, it's their fault, and then there's just some denial, and I'll keep thinking like, what am I doing wrong? Am I pushing it too hard? And um, I felt like I was in a lot of cycles where I was like, okay, I actually was trying to learn to find my way, and then like things kind of crash. Um, so I had this vision a couple days ago where, um, imagine a very intimate setting. So let's say we're in something like a dojo or let's say we're in like a yoga studio, a big yoga studio with wood floors, warm hue, kind of like the warmth that's in the room right now. But imagine like a big like dance hall type of space, right? And I'm sitting there. Um, Actually, this, and I thought about a couple people that I talked about that talked about this with me years ago, and I was sitting there by myself, right in the middle of the floor with just shorts on. And I was just in the middle of the floor, glass walls. There's a lot of beauty and scenery that I feel like there's a lot of like beauty in the scenery itself, but yet on the floor by myself, I'm weeping, I'm crying, I'm in this numb state because I feel like I'm literally by myself. There's nothing surrounding me other than walls and a glass wall that's like showing up, that's showing like water and forest and just like this beautiful oasis. But my mind is in this state where um there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of times where I'm waiting for that embracement of um, a shoulder to come behind me and embrace me and love me and hug me. And it's a scenario that I've replayed in my head multiple times, and it hurts listening to it, um, or visioning it a lot because it kind of feels like an empty dream. But I talked about this with my counselor the other yesterday. I sent a message about this that I want to talk a little bit more about it later. But I thought a lot about just I'm sitting here by myself, and I'm wondering when that love and embracement is gonna come, when I feel like I'm neglecting the love and embracement of myself, the love and embracement of the things that I have done to just give. But I felt like with the lack of receiving, I felt like so hurt that I've let that be the determining factor of who I am as a character, where I'm not doing enough, where I'm not really reflecting on a lot of things. And there's a couple of things that had me think about this in the last couple of days. As a lot of you may know, that I work at a school district as a AV technician. I do a lot of stuff with the computers. I do a lot of stuff with setting up for all the technology that's in the at the school. And I was walking around, obviously, with everything that's going on in the climate right now. There are some schools that are going back in session, and they are really relying on our department to do a lot of virtual stuff. And and I was looking around as I'm trying to, keep a good, trying to be professional, keep a good attitude, and I'm sensing so much of this stress, so much of this uncertainty and anger and impatience, and why can't this work? Why can't that work? I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to make it. It's like I want to make sure everything is perfect, um, and for me, it was like I didn't understand it at the time because it's like, dude, it's not like everybody just needs to calm down. It's like you could tell like the emotions are running high in areas like people are really being easily mad at each other, having attitudes, things like that. And I had to really like sit back and I'm like, I feel like I'm looking at a vision of myself where I have just gave so much and just want to give the perfection for it, where I haven't really tuned to myself to say, I'm going to make it. We're going to be all right. We are capable of doing this. We're going to get the help that we need. And I don't think that we took a lot of that into account. So um, I thought about my friend Emily a couple years ago, and I remember we was in a yoga session where I was sitting down, and she told me to sit in a place, and this kind of goes back to that scenario I was talking about in the room by myself. But she was saying, think about this bubble, right? You're in this bubble that's secure, um, and it was very opening for me because I thought about that moment. So like today was the first time in a while that I've actually like started stretching. I stretched. Um, and usually when I go to work, I'm working hard, I'm exhausted, I want to fall asleep, I want to lay in bed. But I felt like I was moving. I say, all right, I need to do some stretches because number one, my foot kind of hurts, my ankle kind of hurts, my legs kind of are sore, but I want to stretch them out. I don't want to feel like, all right, I'm just going to lay in bed and do nothing. Like, I want to be able to move and to move with purpose. So I was moving with purpose and did a couple stretch poses, and I had a lot of this scenario was playing back in my head, right? Of that, just in that ballroom floor by myself with glass walls, and I had meditation music playing in the background. Um, and I go back and forth and just thinking about a lot of those things that were like really hitting me, right? Like, am I worthy enough? Am I capable of doing these things? And I had to really step back and say, all right, I'm gonna move through these movements because this is the thing that worked for me last time. But I tried to force myself into getting to that point, right? The mental discipline for yourself is to not force the mental discipline, is to guide it into the right direction where it feels good, right? So I feel like um I got caught up into the midst of everything that was going on in the world and where my head was, and the failures, that I didn't really embrace um the successes or the good parts of who I am and what I want to be and what I strive to be, and as a person, not as a musician, not as a tech, not as a producer, as a person itself. And I looked for validation from other people to look for that. And I think a lot about a lot of different people when I think about this. I think about my friend Rachel, I think about my friend Emily, and I think about my friend Olivia. And those were three people that really molded and impacted my mindset. And I felt like at the time I didn't understand it. And now I've kind of taken a step back and really looked at the scenario again. and I thought to myself, I do have a lot of love to give. And that's the thing that I embrace is like, I may not get the same type of love from everybody, but I can love myself. I can learn to love myself. I can learn to um, embrace in the body that I'm in. I can embrace into the essence and the mindset, and to create this beauty that I want to create for myself. And I needed some guidance for that. But in order for me to tune into that, I just needed that moment of silence and that peace where I can say, here's the stoppage. Let me think this through, how to move forward, right? Because I think we try to push so much of it, um, that I needed to just, I think we hear a bunch of voices and like, you need to stop and figure out where is that mental discipline where you can say, focus on you, love yourself, embrace yourself, cherish yourself. You know what you're capable of. You know what you want to bring. I think there's just so much of like, we're just reacting to everything that's going on in the world where we haven't talked about, are you taking care of yourself? And today was like the first time in a while that I have done it. And it was like opening up a floodgate, right? And it's only a step for me. I don't think that, I think there's a lot more to, um, there's a lot more to where my mind wants to go. There's a lot more of releasing that I need to have for my time right now, and I'm learning to embrace that. And it's it's beautiful, um, and I haven't really felt that way before in a while, and uh, and I just really was trying to reconnect myself into to that spirit that I was trying to connect with before, where I just wanted to say, all right, I'm going to reconnect with myself again and work on myself. And I did that about a year and a half ago when I was doing yoga practice. And I think when I tried to push myself back into it so suddenly, it did the mentality of it didn't click the same way. And I just really needed to just revamp myself to say, okay, where are you going to get that motivation from now? Where from your within yourself? Where within this body that you're working on trying to strengthen and endure, and working on your core and working on your body? Where within this are you going to be able to rebuild that that essence and do it again? I think what happens is we get so impatient, right? That we want the results right away, and we're looking for the end goal at day two when the end goal is at day 200. And I think we need to start learning to embrace um, the small little goals. Like today, I embrace it because it was like it felt like it was a small breakthrough. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna feel down tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna feel terrible, stressed out, or whatever. But I'm gonna embrace. I'm gonna hold on to today and say, today was a good day. Today was a day where I felt like I've opened my heart. Today was a day where I felt like I was able to open my soul and feel good about myself and not feel like I was holding on to something that just hurt me. Like today was the day where I can say, I'm here. I'm embracing my love. I'm embracing my who I am as a person, and I'm gonna continue to embrace it with all of me. And um, and I, and I and I challenge you guys to do the same. Find that day that clicks for you, to just like do some stretches, do some movements, and just sit and just embracing the moment. For me, like for me, it was like embracing in the moment of just listening, and just like thinking about all those good times, and just thinking about just the movements, and like being able to imagine hugging myself, that way I wouldn't have to worry about who was there, but just embracing my own warmth instead of the embracing of the ones of others. And I really want to give a lot of credit um, to those people that I've had close encounters with for the last couple of years, because although things did not work out the way that I would have hoped, you two guys don't know how much of your love and embracement meant to me. So to Rachel, to Emily, to Olivia, to Kemba, to Dan and Elias and everybody, like, you guys don't know how much those things meant to me. Um, and I'm I'm thankful for the love that you gave me at the time, but I also want to thank you for, even though it took me a while, finding at least that day to know that I can love myself and not to look for that pure validation that I've always been pressing on for so long. And whether that's, like I said, I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I don't know if I'm going to be back in that rut and I have to revert that cycle again. I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of hours. I don't know if I may feel like crap, man. I feel like I'm reverting back, but I got to embrace on this moment right now and create that mental discipline. So I challenge a lot of you today with everything that's going on in the world, where you feel like you're not less, you're not, you feel like you're not valued, you feel like you're less than what you're worth, you feel like nobody loves you or nobody cares for you or nobody values you. I mean, especially with my black brothers and sisters that feel that way right now, with the world feeling like everything is turning against you. Know that a lot of people love y'all. I love y'all. And I will continue to create that embracement of love and care that I've always tried to do within myself to others, and bring that within myself. And I'm always going to try to keep sharing that within that, in that same breath. I take a lot of I get a lot of warmth of just trying to share that love with people and try to make people feel good. So, um, you know, I'm and I always try to tell myself I'm more than just the job description that I am. I'm more than just the service that I am. I am a human being, and the only person that's gonna know that the best is yourself. So always keep creating that space for yourself to know that if you continue to love yourself and who you are and who you want to be and where you want to go, that's the most important thing. And um, don't worry about the reciprocation, because you're reciprocating to your own self. You're embracing your own self, embracing that imagination, embracing that inner child that's been longing for this love and care that's feel like it's been neglected, and embrace it. We talk a lot about that. I've talked a lot about that with multiple people, my counselor, my former counselor, Rachel, everybody. And it's just like, I think we need to embrace that. Men, please embrace it. Please embrace it. I know we up in this, we live in this society in the last, what, how many centuries, where we keep talking about men's got to be masculine. We can't be talking about this stuff. No, stop. We got to break that mold, man. Like, we all deserve to express ourselves this way. I don't have no problem expressing myself this way. I may be different from a lot of people, but I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that, and I think a lot of y'all will feel more than okay with that too. So, embrace yourselves, love yourselves, take care of yourselves, y'all. E- and I'm working on doing that myself. Like I said, this is a work in progress. Um, when I say speak everything into existence, I don't mean that I'm doing it. I mean, I'm doing it and I've done it already. It means you too. No, this is movement. There's gonna be days where y'all feel like the world is against you. There are days where you're gonna feel like you can't do anything right. There are days where you feel like I'm not worthy, I'm not valued, I'm not um I'm not perfect. I can't do this right. I can't do that right. I don't feel loved. I don't feel cherished. I don't feel needed. And that's part of the process. It's like moving through those things and just feel like, okay, express them, express them, because I have. And I hold on to today because I know that this is the day where I just feel like, okay, some like you are feel value. I didn't have to feel like, all right, I gotta call this person to feel validation. I gotta call this person to feel validation. Like this is when all those lessons that I took, it just clicked for me for even if just a couple minutes. Hold on to that. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. We don't know what's gonna happen in the world tomorrow. But embrace today. Take that take that space on the mat. Lay in that laying on that wooden floor in that ballroom with that beautiful oasis. And even if it's just even if you're in a small room or the biggest room in the world, and know that that shoulder is there. You may not physically feel it, but I feel like spiritually you're gonna feel it in your spirit, in your soul. Feel that. Once you know you can embrace that, even just for a small period of time, you don't know how much beauty that's gonna bring for you. So that's my mental discipline, is to continue to create that oasis on those times and take care of myself during times of struggle and and uncertainty and just um, unclear, and just being able to find that clarity and that peace. And as always, to speak everything into existence, invest, involve, and evolve. Thank y'all for everybody that watched today. I'm gonna keep this short. This is 30 minutes roughly, and I want to thank all of y'all who tuned in. Please leave comments and questions on the pages. I'm trying to make sure I can check them all right now. I know it's a little bit hard, but um, feel free to just leave your stories. What is your stories that like what is that turning point that you feel like something clicked for you? So like I said, God bless y'all. Um, I hope y'all find um, peace, love, and spiritual cleanliness in in the next couple days. Especially to all those people that are working at schools right now, that just like with a lot of uncertainty, and just embrace it. Um, so I see a couple people in the chat. What's up, Steve Powell? What's up, Bam? What's up, Brandon? Farmer X 2000 on Twitch. Thank y'all for tuning in. Um, and again, y'all, invest, involve, and evolve. Speak everything into existence. I thank everybody for joining me. I will have this saved on everybody on Facebook, YouTube, IG. So thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love.